There are races that sometime before you hang up race chasing, you have to go see. You just have to go see. You've got to go see, face it, Erin. You've got to go see the Knoxville Nationals. We've talked about that. We've been, oh my gosh, you've raced enough people. Okay. You got to go see a King's Royal or at least something at Eldora, but a King's Royal.
Yeah.
I put Chili Bowl in that category. Chili Bowl is one you've got to go see, and it's just phenomenal. One that has just piqued my interest over the last few years, and it comes from hanging out, talking to all these California racers, is the Trophy Cup. I am telling you, this just seems to me like it is just full-blown California cowboy up chaos racing.
Yeah, and I love that the time of year. It's always kind of towards the end of the season. It seems like it's its own event. It's its own...
It's its own city. 107 cars have entered. I mean, but no, you're right. It's and here's the other thing with this is that it's a 360 race.
Yep.
And we know California 360 racing is pretty stout.
And getting stronger.
Yeah. And so everyone even the 410 guys, even the Bud Kadings of the world who are pro 410, they just bolt a 360 in and go like crazy. Gosh, it's just now she's Erin Evernham. I'm Steve Post. This is Wing Nation presented by Dry Dean and DRF Racing Oils. We're in the Hercules Tire Studios, by the way. The last time they had this one, because that little worldwide pandemic knocked it out of commission last year. The last time they had it was 2019, and Rico Abreu won Thursday night, won Friday night, and won Saturday night. Now, this is not you win, you start on the pole. No, you win, you start last.
Yeah.
And Rico did something that they claimed would never happen, and the 26th running was the last time they did it. Rico did it. And so Rico is going to join us here to talk about not only that, but just the Trophy Cup, the charitable initiative, because this, as great as this race is, the legacy might be something that, and then it's not might be something, the legacy is something that is even bigger than $27,000 to win in every 360 in America. Because they just do so much good work with this, too. So Dave Pusateri is the guy that, the chief cook and bottle washer over there. He does a great job, but that's what we're going to do. We're going to talk to Rico Abreu. Before we do that, though, let's take a look or listen to this. This was the Lucas Oil ASCS National Tour at Devil's Bowl. It was the Winter Nationals. Dylan Westbrook out there leading them around the racetrack. J.J. Hickle goes on offense. Here's Brian Hulbert with a call on Racing Boys and Flow Racing.
And now for the Dry Dean death-defying move of the week, where one driver simply amazes us with their on-track move.
J.J. Hickle swept the weekend here in March. He's going to try to add a third one here. He's come after Westbrook to the front straightaway. Dylan's going to hold on to it by 0.2 of a second. Dylan Westbrook, but not for long. J.J. Hickle down to the bottom. You've got a new leader to the back straightaway.
That death-defying move was brought to you by Dry Dean Diesel All Def, the official def of the world of outlaws and wheelmen everywhere. Visit drydene.com for more information.
For decades, Dry Dean Lubricants has been made in America and made to last, paving the way on our highways, in our fields, and on the production line. Today, Dry Dean offers a complete line of engine oils, greases, hydraulic and transmission fluids, and diesel exhaust fluid. If you want greater performance and protection for your critical engines and equipment, go to drydene.com. Dry Dean, American owned and operated, and a proud supporter of racing and race fans everywhere. Citywide to countryside, whatever you drive, wherever you go, Hercules has the value, selection, and industry-leading warranty to get you there no matter where the road takes you. Go to HerculesTires.com. There you can find the nearest authorized Hercules retail location to you. Plus, you can use the tire tracker to find out which Hercules tire fits your vehicle the best. That's HerculesTires.com. Hercules Tires, ride on our strength. Wing Nation, presented by Dry Dean and DRF Racing Oil, continues on. We're going to the Sage Fruit Hotline to a man who they said would never do what he did a couple of years ago in the Trophy Cup, won it all. I mean, everything. It was just swept the whole thing. Rico Abreu joins us. Hello, Rico. Welcome back to Wing Nation.
Hey, guys. How are you?
We are good. How do you feel going into Trophy Cup again this year?
Oh, I'm so excited. one of my favorite race events of the year. One I've, started in the beginning of my career and ran pretty much every one of them. This is my 10th season racing, so I think I might have missed one a couple years ago. But other than that, I look forward to the Trophy Cup every single year. Dave and the Gomez family bring so much to the table for putting on, a massive charity event for Make-A-Wish. And, it's just cool to see all the families and the efforts they put in of raising, the last few years they've donated $200,000 to Make-A-Wish, all because of, the great supporters we have in the sport of sprint car racing.
That's amazing. Rico, talk more about this event. It's an event I've never been able to go to. It's at Tulare. They get over 100 cars coming this year. It's a different format. Like you said, it's really for charity, but everyone just speaks so highly of it. Like Steve mentioned when we opened the show, it's almost like a Knoxville or Chili Bowl. It's become a major event in motorsports in the U.S. Talk about what makes it so special in the atmosphere of the weekend.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's about it's about Make-A-Wish. It's a weekend about Make-A-Wish, and those kids that come every year, the Make-A-Wish sends to be a part of the event. And Dave does a great job with having some amazing auction items each night. I think they do a taco feed, a chili feed, and then obviously Saturday, is the biggest night. They do a couple auction items throughout the race on the front straightaway and allow all the fans to participate in bidding on, that special, just that special item that he does. The last 2 years, he's done a pair of, helmets, some old racing suits. I think he did, a couple of years ago, Hal and I purchased 4 generations of Kading helmets, between Tim, Howard Kading, Brent Kading, and Bud. And we ended up donating them to the Hall of Fame. So it's just all really, really cool stuff. And like I said, it's all driven around Make-A-Wish and raising money for Make-A-Wish. And it's allowing the fans and the racers to get involved. And on top of that, it's an extremely great race that allows a lot of passing just because of the wild track conditions at Tulare and how the track forms up to that A main Saturday night. And they put the fast guys in the back and they allow them to enough laps to work their way to the front.
Yeah, 50 laps is what the A main is on Saturday night, so it does give you the time. Rico, I can't imagine. I mean, I know sprint car racers, you guys are on offense, it seems like your whole life, or your whole race, every race, your whole night, your everything. This thing here, though, because of the passing points and points being added up, it's just got to be a matter, if there's a car in front of you, you have to do everything to pass them. Is that kind of the way you have to approach this thing?
Yeah, it is. You got to go, especially with the competition in California, and they fully invert the field on Saturday based off your points from the previous 2 nights of racing. So, there ends up being some good guys in front of the field, that don't necessarily have a lot of points, and it can get you in real trouble by getting a lap down, and then your chance for the championship is over. So you kind of got to be aggressive in the beginning of the race. Last 2 years ago, my everything played out perfectly for me, where it allowed me to get to some good positions. I got some good positions early. I didn't really get enough passing points. They do a heat race on Saturday, and that gives you kind of a last chance for some extra points. And I didn't advance many positions in that heat race, so it allowed like Goldick and Kyle Hurston to outpoint me, and I actually started in front of them. So, it gave me kind of a buffer at the beginning of the race, where I was ahead of those guys, and, just kind of picked everybody off one at a time. And I think I won. Well, the craziest part for me that I really, when I look back on that race that I won all 3 nights, I only led 10 laps in the whole weekend.
Yeah, well, if you got to start in the back every night. That's amazing. Rico, you mentioned the competition level of sprint car racing in California, 410 and 360, but obviously this is being a 360 race. How awesome does it make you feel? I know you and your whole family put a lot into sprint car racing in California. To see how far, to me, being on the East Coast, how far it's come in a few years, that has to make you feel really good that sprint cars are so strong in your hometown, your area.
Yeah, it's really healthy out here in California. And you see a lot of, there's many good feeder series from the outlaw karts up Northern California and to how competitive the micro and 600 classes are, in Lemoore and Visalia. And, you see how the competition, I just seen Kyle Busch was out here with Brexton getting him some laps in a junior sprint. And that just shows, Kyle's smart and he knows where the best cars are and the best drivers are. So he's out here with Brexton, in between cup races, getting him some time. And it really shows when those kids get in the sprint cars and you see the Corey Days and how competitive they are right away. And, it makes the pace of racing very fast out here in California. And the competition is, throughout the age group of sprint cars. You have, 14-year-olds to 50-year-olds that are, 14-year-olds are just as good as the 50-year-olds right now.
I think that's what I find so fascinating about it. And with the advent of flow racing, particularly, I've watched a lot of 360 racing in California, and you're right. There's the Corey Days of the world, the kids, and then there's the Sean Beckers of the world as well. And I love what's happening out there. It's just fun. And then you throw them together on this racetrack for this weekend. You put everyone in them. I mean, it's wild what's going on. Fascinating stuff.
It's good to see. I mean, it's what we've worked for. These decades of just building the sport up, and I really enjoy seeing it and being a part of it. And there's far more to it than just jumping in the car and racing. For me, at least, and building that establishment for myself in the sport of sprint car racing, the cars that I love the most, and I see myself here for a long time.
Nice.
Rico, I was just thinking, Tulare is the perfect racetrack for the Trophy Cup, for that format, isn't it? When you think about a wheels-up track where you have the ability to pass that many cars, there aren't many tracks that would better suit the format than Tulare.
It is, and it makes it fun and a perfect event for the facility, and where you got to run up on the wall, and and when your car is good and competitive, it makes the racing and it makes everything really exciting. And you see guys, they know they show up to Tulare and have to run up on the wall, and it can get nerve-wracking at times. And the one great way to pass there is big slide jobs, and that's how you get by guys, and you use the wall to launch you down the front straightaway or the back stretch. And the way the cushion creates on the concrete K rails there, it's kind of like a half moon where you can just kind of plug in and drive around there.
Speaking of exciting, you've spent some time this season and just what has been a wonderful program with Jack Hodenschild. And Jack's going to be out there with you racing. Rico, you had a dream, you had a vision, you rolled the car out at Bristol, you saw that vision to come true. What has the year been like watching Jack with his final tour around there and knowing that you've been part of that?
It's been really cool. It was very emotional at times. Jack winning the heat race at Kings Royal and starting on the front row, and just interacting with race fans that lived those times when in the 90s when Jack was in the Pennzoil 22, and just how comforting it was for fans to kind of see that, and the younger generation to get to experience it as well. Pennzoil is a massive company, and for them to get to come to a few of the races, a couple of the Pennzoil people actually came to Kings Royal and got to experience that, and they were very unaware of the impact Jack Hottentout puts on the racing world, especially at Eldora. And, so I thought that was the coolest part for me, is for them to experience that and understand, who Jack Hottentout is and why he's the fan favorite everywhere you go. It was, it just was something that had to happen, and it was meant to be. And, Jack is my favorite race car driver, and it was, it was something that I enjoyed putting together for Jack and making it a surprise at Bristol. And, everybody that was involved, it was just an unbelievable time for sprint car racing, for people to experience that again.
I go to a lot of races, a lot of times, Erin. I go to all kinds of races, and I love every bit of it. Jack on the front row for the King's Royal after winning that heat race. I've never said the thing I compare it to. It was
that was really emotional.
It was emotional. It was like an on fire revival service. I mean, the crowd. I mean, it was just if you didn't have goosebumps on top of goosebumps and chills running up and down your spine, we needed to check your pulse. I don't know in racing that I've ever experienced anything like that. That was just religion out there with Jack on the front of that field, and then he's just so cool in the way he handles it that makes it even better. I mean, gosh.
I was so upset that I missed that. I mean, obviously watched on Dirt Vision, but doesn't have the same effect.
It's unreal.
However, Knoxville, when the entire facility was saying farewell, and oh my gosh, that moment he was out on the front stretch with Wade.
Yeah, Wade.
Oh, that was, I had big old tears running down my face.
Oh gosh, dude.
Special moment. That's for sure.
Yeah. Gosh, I mean, I'm telling you, I will never forget that feeling. I felt like my heart there at Eldora was going to jump right out of my chest, and I felt like I'm not even into this as much as everyone around me. And I'm like, I'd love to have had a heart monitor on myself and a whole bunch of other people there, because it was just unreal. Cool stuff. So, let's see. So we've got Jack Dickens. So you got Jack out there with you this weekend, right?
I actually haven't talked to him. We talked about, he called and was uncertain about it, but,
okay.
I actually need to call him today. Get him out here.
He'll show up and you'll regret that phone call is what'll happen. So, No, he did post on Twitter. Craig just said he's not gonna be able to make it. Oh, we're bummed out about that. I had missed that one as far as that goes, but I'm telling you, 107 cars. Aye. Good time. And then
I'm excited.
Yeah, Rico, they also, now you mentioned it, there's also other activities around the racetrack as well, not maybe some after-hours activities that and some shenanigans that go on there too?
Yeah, I'm pretty pumped this year. I'm actually camping. I'm bringing my family has a camper, so I'm borrowing it. Megan and I and Gus are going to leave tomorrow. We're going to leave tomorrow afternoon and go down a day early and get set up and camp. I want to, just live that, kind of both sides of it and be a part of the events after the races and just hang out. We leave our truck and trailer in the pits all weekend, so we don't car wash or anything and just wipe everything down and go again each night. So it's, I think the first night they do a chili feed and then taco night, Friday night, and then Saturday is the big auction on the front straightaway, which is, what I'm looking forward to the most and seeing what they're, they have to unveil this year with, if it's race suits or who knows, it might be a complete race car or something that gets donated to Make-A-Wish or something, which is would be really cool.
That's awesome. I used to volunteer for Make-A-Wish, and as you do, Rico, we support a lot of charities, but that one's pretty near and dear to my heart because obviously those kids are very sick, but to see them get to have one life experience that they would never have without this organization, and to be able to tell them that they get to go to Disney or meet their favorite celebrity, to me, it's a very unique and special charity, and it's so cool that this race does so much to support it.
Yeah, it is, and it's special. And one of the memories that keeps popping up in my head was the year I won. Dave brings down I call him Trophy Dave. He puts the event on, and he brings down, Make-A-Wish kids every year, Saturday, to meet all the drivers. And, I had won the first two nights, and there was two boys. They're in the victory lane photos with me on Saturday, and I just remember telling them, if I won, I wanted them to be there in victory lane and experience that for them. I think it's very important for kids, with those needs and those struggles to get to experience some emotional times like that, and the people cheering and going crazy on the front straightaway, and just the kids there smiling, and because they never get to experience those things. And I just thought it was, I remember telling the boys when Dave had them down there, I said, if I won, I want to make sure you guys are there. And they were the first ones there when I won. So it was pretty cool to even think about it now, and and just what that event brings to California sprint car racing, and Dave donating that $200,000 in his speech every year is so emotional, and just because of the work that gets put in to donate that amount of money can be difficult, and he hits that mark every single year. And even last year with COVID and not having the Trophy Cup, he still made donations, and it was so I have a feeling this year is going to be massive, just because the fans that didn't have the access the last 2 years to get to the Trophy Cup, and they better be there this year.
Over $2.1 million donated to Make-A-Wish over the course of the Trophy Cup. It's the 27th annual Trophy Cup at Tulare Raceway and Thunderbowl Raceway, and it's going to be a big one. Rico, I knew when we talked about having you on, nobody could paint the picture better than you could, and you did a fabulous job. We appreciate your passion for the sport, your passion for the Trophy Cup, and everything else, and we appreciate the time joining us here today on Wing Nation.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Take care. We'll see you soon.
See you soon. There we go. Rico Abreu joining us here on the program. Woo, man.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. Had a lot of heart there in that young man.
Yeah, he sure does.
There's a lot of heart there in that young man.
He does a lot for the community in general.
Yes, he does.
In his local community, racing community, you name it.
Yes, he does, for sure. Stay with us. Over the years, Dryden has stood for uncompromised value and proven performance. Known as the hardest working brand in heavy-duty lubrication, Dryden's heritage is made in America and made to last. Dryden products work to increase the life and enhance the efficiency of your equipment in the toughest conditions. Learn more about Dryden's products at Dryden.com. From grassroots racing to NASCAR, Dryden is a proud supporter of racing everywhere. For a year-round high-quality eating experience, look no further than Sage Fruit apples, pears, and cherries. Not only is their produce healthy, but they are grown with such care and precision that you can count on each piece of fruit having exceptional flavor. Sage Fruit, it's our first choice for quick and easy snacking. Get back into NASCAR's roots by driving headfirst into the new home of grassroots racing. Flow Racing keeps the original NASCAR tradition of dirt track racing roaring with more than 1,300 live and on-demand oval races from across the United States. Subscribe today by going to flowracing.com/MRN. Learn how the next generation of NASCAR drivers is prospected in sprint car racing, or watch the thrill of last lap slide jobs. Subscribe today by going to flowracing.com/GoMRN. We talked a lot with Rico about the 27th annual Trophy Cup at Tulare Raceway, a minimum of $27,000 for the overall winner of a $200,000 purse. Thursday and Friday prelims, Saturday the 50-lap finale. Most recent winner we talked about, Rico. Brent Kading is a 4-time winner. Tim Kading and Jack Haudenschild are 3-time winners. Jason Myers, Shane Golobic, twice they've won this big race. Listen to this list. Ronnie Day, Kevin Pilot, Mark Kinzer, Tom Tarleton, Craig Stidham, Steve Kent, Brad Sweet, Jonathan Allard, Kyle Larson, Willie Croft, Bud Kading, and Rico Abreu have all run the trophy. Kyle Larson won it in 2013, and on the Tuesday after that, he called into a program called Wing Nation. It was the first time we and many other people had heard of a kid named Kyle Larson. Wasn't the last time. There's a whole bunch of people in NASCAR land that said you guys should have kept him in California. Man.
Crazy, honestly.
Yes.
I thought last year was crazy. Now this year
he's
might
just
even...
like, so watch this, hold my beer.
Yeah.
Last year was like, hold my beer, watch this.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to do it in all of those other cars and a cup car. I mean, it's amazing. And anyhow, the cushion has the pay-per-view of the Trophy Cup. Check this out. It's going to be awesome. The Lucas Oil ASCS National Tour, they have the 34th annual Comp Cam Short Track Nationals. $10,041 to win. Friday, twin 20-lap features. It's a split field. Remember, Brian Holbert was sharing this with us a couple weeks ago on a show that never aired. But they're doing twin all-star formats. They split the field, and they do twin all-star formats. Saturday traditional. Past winners, Blake Hahn is a two-time winner. Sam Haferteep, they are there. And this is also the finale of the ASCS National Port Tour. Battle there. Blake Hahn by 52 points over J.J. Hickle. So Blake better keep on his A game.
Yeah.
Now, he's good there at I-30. It's on racingboys.com and Flow Racing. I can't wait. I'm going to this one. World of Outlaw NOS Energy Drink Sprint Cars, the FVP Platinum Battery Showdown Friday night at Lakeside Speedway. Only 5 races remaining. This race has been very interesting the last 2 years. I've been able to hit them because they tie it in with NASCAR weekend. 2019, Donnie Schatz, that was the first Ford win.
Oh, yeah.
And last year, Shane Stewart on a weekend just driving for Bobby Johnson.
That was an emotional one.
Woo! We don't talk about not a dry eye on the house on that one. Holy cow, Shane Stewart got the win. World of Outlaw points, Brad Sweet, this is getting closer. Something needs to happen. Brad's doing enough to stay in front, but one misstep.
Yeah.
And David Gravel's going to be all over him by 92 points. Saturday afternoon, 3 o'clock, Babs Motor Speedway, a full 410 program. Pennsylvania, they're never done. They're never done. Jacksonville Speedway, Jacksonville, Illinois. It's called the Encore. It's like, when you get done with the season and you want one more? Well, Jackson says, let's just do one more. They've got a $5,000 to win midget show and $2,500 to win 410 show. And our friends with the Patriot Sprint Tour, they're doing the Dutch Hogue Memorial Friday night at Outlaw Speedway. That's Dundee, New York. So a big weekend coming up. And coming up next week, the Walkopedia Carolina Midget Showdown at Millbridge, Monday and Tuesday at Millbridge Speedway and on Dirt Vision. And then following that, all dirt roads lead to Charlotte for the World Championship the next weekend and the NTK World Finals coming up on November 4th through the 6th, including Dry Dean Wing Nation programs Friday and Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's going to be a mess right there. It's Ladies' Night with Erin and Ashley.
Ladies' Nights.
Ladies' Nights.
Yep.
With Erin and
Watch out.
Ashley. Oh, boy.
We don't have any.
No, they don't have any fun at all. If you want to come...
If you were at Jackson,
yes,
tuned in, you may know.
If you want to come to a show and laugh your butt off, well, that's the one to be at, that's for sure. And there's wheat races, Cherokee on Tuesday night, Millbridge Tuesday, and all kinds of racing coming up. It's a big time here in the greater Charlotte area as all dirt roads lead to Charlotte. Man, Rico. Man. Yeah, I know, Rico. How about that? Just phenomenal. I mean,
I love how we ended that interview, him talking about how emotional it was for him to bring those boys down to victory lane.
He has been, I mean, we talk about the Jack thing and then his racing thing, but
and the sides.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
But what he does for kids, I mean, with bullying and that sort of thing, he has touched so many
Remember last year, I didn't
lives.
even get to ask him about it, but they did a pumpkin patch because
That's
they
right.
wanted,
For the community out there at the
fires
vineyards,
and the
because all the
pandemic,
fires.
and
I mean, it's just when something good is happening out there in that area, Rico's involved with it.
Yep.
I mean, it just seems it's great. So love chatting with him, really do. Check out the Trophy Cup, the Short Track Nationals, World of Outlaws. Got a big weekend coming up for sure. Wing Nation gear is available at www.wingnation.com. That's wingnation.com. Order it now. Makes great Christmas gifts. That's right, Christmas gifts. You can get it all done. You don't have to worry about that Black Friday, whatever. While everyone else is losing their minds, you say, I've already got mine shopping done. I did it at wingnation.com. Coming up on our Wing Nation television program this weekend, we have got Bobby Allen. Speaking of a lot of energy and a lot of heart, Bobby Allen joins us on our program coming up this weekend. Wing Nation presented by Sage Fruit. Thanks again to Rico Abreu for joining us. More important than all of that, though, thank you for joining us here on Wing Nation presented by Dry Dean and DRF Racing Oils.